started off as well. What surprised you the most?
I was proven wrong. Fuzzy Kittens beat Guerrier de l'Espace, held them to like 12 points.
That was
After I said they were the
Fuzzy
worst
Kittens?
defense I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
yeah.
Right?
In the first round, they lost in the quarterfinals, but they won in the.
Guerrier de l'Espace didn't have a
That's
QB inside info. But either way, I mean, I really said no matter what happens, Guerrier de l'Espace will dominate Fuzzy Kittens, and I was wrong.
I was surprised too of the sort of blowouts that I thought would happen. Like
Yeah.
I thought that Obamacare would run away with the game against Trap Stars. That ended up being a 1-point game.
Ela de Trap Stars.
Sunshine Island over Blue Devils. I thought was going to be a
I
wash.
think you and I had said Sunshine Island,
Yes, we did.
and
We all did.
you did as well. Yeah, I mean, that's, what, Gianfranco, man. It's just.
With that in mind, 5B, I'm going to skip past the divisional round and go straight to the quarterfinals results for the most part.
Why not? Let's go.
Junkyard Dogs beat Creamsicles 13-0.
Snooze fest.
Do you think that Creamsicles just sort of fizzled out? Like they had a great week
Let's
10
just say
game.
their popsicle melted.
Cut his mic off. Cut his mic off right now. I don't want to. Thanks, Evil. I appreciate it.
No, he really did cut you off.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah, melted down, man. Big meltdown by Anthony Patoshash.
I feel like he's been consistently inconsistent. The sort of incompletion after incompletion, even in their wins, oftentimes he'll fall below a 50% completion
Yeah,
ratio.
it's always based on reliant on on De Silva. It was like that before with Balls Deep as well. He's just I don't know. I wasn't. He played amazing against Takeover, unreal against Takeover, and Takeover is a pretty good team. But he was making plays I
That's
never
a
thought.
ringing endorsement, by the way. Takeover are a pretty good team.
But
You should have them write that on their
But
jersey.
what-
Should,
does that
hey, we're
say?
a pretty darn good team.
But what
No.
does that say about them losing to the Junkyard Dogs, who don't have great quarterback play in the first place?
They do have great
Yeah, they
quarterback
do.
play. They have a quarter,
Jason Rossi
But
cut
he's-
them up.
he's-
They have a quarterback who was nominated
but
for quarterback
he
of the
is
year.
up and down, though, guys.
Yeah. And honestly, 13 points isn't something to say he played a great game. But I think it was more of his defense shutting down the, I'd say, average Creamsicles offense. But overall, Jason Rossi
then
just has
again-
to manage. He just has to manage.
All he really had to do in that game, which he did quite well, is keep the ball away from Allard and
That's
De
it,
Silva.
yeah, exactly.
So he
Allard
made
was-
his
What he did.
he
He was
ran
anemic,
when he
Allard.
needed.
He was very anemic. Allard did nothing in that game.
Diagnosed. Dr. Khan.
Small Giants.
Small
Giants.
Little
40 over
little
Green
40
Lantern Core
bomb.
19.
Little 40 bomb.
I'll tell you the gist of the story. I scored out the game.
Yeah.
It was over after 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
But why after 4 minutes?
Pick six, and they scored another INT. And they
Yeah,
scored an
Small
opening
Giants,
drive.
they didn't let them get momentum. It
This
just
is-
never stopped.
This is what okay, Small Giants, probably the best defense in 5B.
Thank you for taking my quote from later down in the
Sorry,
script.
I didn't
No
check.
worries.
I didn't check your thing. Probably best defense in 5B. But I'm going to say this about GLC is that GLC went leaps and bounds above what they usually perform at. You know what I mean? So they've improved a lot, and I think with Pichet at quarterback,
Well, this time it was
Going
Jerson
next season.
Perrineau.
Yeah.
was Jerson played all year, all game.
He played
I thought it
quarterback.
was half and half.
Pichet only really quarterbacked the first time these two teams met.
No, I think I'm wrong. I think you guys
Well,
are wrong. on
Perrineau was quarterbacking yesterday.
in this game.
Yeah,
Pervion, okay,
Pervion.
quarterback. Either way, I think that going forward, Pichet should be the quarterback, and I think that they've made good strides to get better, and maybe they should play in Division D this year and Division E this year.
What do you think? Like, how do Green Lantern Corps sort of break this?
I think they have athletes on their team that are not refined to play at this level. I think they need spring season to have a big year in winter. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this was a good stepping stone for them. I think if they come back in spring, which I believe they will, with Fidel Hassan as a captain of the team, they can make another step. But I think in 2017 winter is where they make the move and become a really good team to beat, a tough out to beat come next winter.
The thing what I like about GLC is that they have a lot of they're all good friends. They play together all year, and I don't see any of them leaving. Okay, I don't see them replacing anybody else with like a star player, let's say. All they got to do is continue getting better. Now they have, I think Pichet should be the quarterback. I don't know why Jerson played quarterback for that game. Pichet should be playing quarterback going forward, and get him a fresh season in the spring, and put him in Division E and see what they can do if they can fit.
I just want to say at the same time, of all the quarterbacks that are left, Justin Lerner,
Awesome.
0 interceptions,
Awesome.
9 passing TDs,
He's phenomenal.
Yep.
He
I
makes
think
a lot of
it's-
throws, but also the one thing that he gets helped out, he's got athletes on his team that really make him look
cool.
really
He's got
good.
guys.
So
he's got
he
guys
knows
that
how to use the
understand.
guys he's throwing the ball to.
But remember, his balls are good, but there's some flutters as
There's
well.
some flutters. He looks like Peyton Manning sometimes. That's what she said. The thing is, he's also
It's sensation that he is, right? Turn his mic, please.
Mo's
he's insulting
Grasping at straws
John,
right now.
Insulting John and Nick right now. What the hell?
St. Lunatics in a loss to Ghosts, 21-12.
It was a 1-point lead.
It was.
It was a 1-point lead.
But even before that, going in, like St. Lunatics had an impressive emotional win over Les Patriotes. For anyone who saw
Very
that game,
emotional win.
That was
huge. That game was nuts. And you had taken Patriot. I had taken St. Lunatics. I really, and you know what? The game could have gone either way. I just think that they were on such a high after beating Patriot.
St. Lunatics
that they
got
crashed.
into the heads of Patriot.
Yeah,
I think
it's exactly what we had said to do too. And they were so high. They went on such a high after beating Patriot that they crashed.
Yeah, they kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah, and Ghosts a good team. You can't crash against the Ghosts, and they did. Michael Sanchez, he's honestly he's improved a lot, and I think that he's finally found his guys.
His calling card will be the NWO and Div 6. And what they do next year, will they become a Div 5B team or Div 5A team?
5B.
Whoever they play with in 5 next year, whatever division they play in, they will not make the playoffs with NWO. Michael Sanchez with NWO doesn't make the playoffs. Michael Sanchez with the guys he had St. Lunatics makes the playoffs.
But look at the roster, St. Lunatics, right? Sorry, I know
Well, yeah, Eddie Lee.
elongate this, right? You
Eddie
had Dylan
Lee.
Drake, right? You had Eddie Lee, right? You had a lot of guys who play in the
Yeah,
hard
that
divisions.
big guy. I always forget the Italian guy. I always forget his name. Number 88.
Franzese.
Yeah, Franzese, exactly.
Right? You had these guys who
Yeah,
played
he's
in hard
Franzese.
divisions.
Franzese.
Aside from the win over the Patriots last week,
Yeah.
they didn't play well coming into this playoffs.
You're right. You're
They didn't
100%
play
right. But I like the way that they play. I mean, they like to spread the ball, and they did. And they spread the ball. I mean, Franzese dropped a lot of balls, though. He dropped like 3 touchdowns because Sanchez was trying to force it. And I said that was the key. Just spread the offense, and then you'll be able to get it. But they kept it close, but they dominated that entire game. They kept it close for no reason.
My question on Ghosts after having this win.
Love Ghosts.
What?
Love Ghosts.
This
the
came out
movie
of nowhere.
Ghost?
Oh, okay. So preseason, we kind of had Ghosts up here,
Yeah.
a top tier team.
You
Then
and
they
I
started,
both had them then.
Yeah, and then they started kind of underperforming. And my question is now, is that as they're turning it around,
Yeah.
are they back up to this sort of caliber that we thought of them preseason?
Well, they're gonna be
or are
playing-
they just kind of getting lucky and playing better than we expect them
Well,
to play?
they're playing. They've had good matchups, and now they're playing against small giants, and we'll see what happens. But I think Gab Wiseman as a first-year full-time quarterback, I think that he's played okay, but he needs to manage his games, and they're never going to blow out a team at all. They're never going to blow out a team, even with a guy like Zach Zorn on their offense.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to blow out a team, but they will be able to keep it close, and then experience will take them to the next.
He's a really
So-
good player, Gab Wiseman.
Gab Wiseman's an awesome player,
Yeah.
man. Awesome.
Really
On
good.
both sides of the ball.
In that case, do you sort of pull a spring 2006 Mustangs where you make sure every play goes to like 5 seconds before the ball is snapped?
We did that one year, and we beat the. We were making the playoffs, and we beat the. It was like in 2009. It was a doggone ball club, and we brought the clock down. We played against the Alcoholics.
that's the core, right?
Yeah.
That's Nicolatopoulos,
yeah, those
Darren.
guys.
For
Oh, the
some
Mustangs,
reason.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. You bring. Sorry, I was thinking about the other Mustangs, the French Mustangs. But yeah, you draw on the clock all the way down to like 5 seconds, then you snap it.
Yeah.
And it worked, man. We beat the Alcoholics that way. And then or the Rough Riders, one of the two.
Well,
Rough Riders,
that's
Rough
that's sort of the same thing. It's sort of the
Yeah.
Paula Pierre quarterback, that sort of core back then with like
Absolutely. Carmen
Jamal
Puliche,
Pierre.
Jamal
A lot
Pierre,
of fast,
Carmen.
athletic, big players.
Yeah, Roshley was on that team too. It was weird. And us, little old us, we beat that. I'll never forget that. It's crazy. They got so pissed.
So we'll stop reliving the past. We'll start of
They won a
preview the next
championship
games.
2011.
Yeah, you and I.
Yes. Okay, go.
Those are the good old days.
We have to fix it so Peace doesn't win this year. Okay, go.
He won.
Our sort of first preview. We're going back to 5A now. Dope Boys Black Shirts.
I love this game, man.
They haven't
Love
met,
this
so
game.
I think a lot of the appeal of 5A right now is that the teams that are left haven't played each other.
Yeah,
for
I like
the
that
most
too.
part.
It's true. I think this is the most exciting game we'll see all season, from the including regular season, both in 5A and 5B. Dope Boys, crazy defense.
You're sort of searching for those like top shelf statements right now.
Yeah,
like, this is
big
the
time.
best game we'll see all season.
It's gonna be. It should be. It has the likings to be the best game.
Yes and no, depending on how, and you bring up the next question here, the quarterback play.
Yeah. So who do you think is the better? Thank you for that, by the way. Who do you think is the better quarterback in this situation?
Emilio.
Do you take Eric Lalonde, who's the more consistent of the two and spreads the ball more,
No.
or you take Emilio, who has that sort of experience but
Taking
is still in the
Emilio,
learning?
the mighty duck man. I'm taking Emilio Pampizers. I'm taking Emilio because I find that Eric Lalonde is good. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but he's too much of a safe quarterback. Emilio likes to play it a little sexy. He likes to spread the ball, take a few shots deep here and there. But Lalonde likes to drop down, dump it off to his center, little things like that, which works. It's managed the game, and it's worked all season. And he relies on his defense. But I think that Black Shirts are going to just dominate.
Even though that Emilio's not the more natural quarterback.
He's not a natural quarterback at all. Doesn't mean you don't need to be a natural quarterback to win championships.
Oh, okay. Find me an example of a non-natural quarterback
Non-natural quarterback that won a championship.
that has won a championship.
Well, here's the stat for you, right? The last 4 games, Emilio Pepena has thrown 4 or more TDs in a game. Whereas with Eric Lalonde in his last 5 games, he's thrown 3 or more TDs 3 times.
Yeah, but that's not Lalonde's game. Isn't to throw 5 TDs a game. It's managed. Defense is going to pick
chop
him off.
down the- yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Cut the field in half. Drawn down the clock with like 7 play drives. That's Eric Lalonde's offense. It's not the score on every drive like it is for Emilio.
18 INTs during the regular season for Dope Boys, so that could be a factor as well.
You mentioned that before. This is basically
Yeah.
one of the other games you mentioned where
I'm gonna find
it's-
an unnatural quarterback that won a championship.
do it.
And I'll freaking.
Dude, I'm waiting for it.
I'll throw it in your face.
You've got 15 minutes.
Texting the president here. Okay, go. What was your question?
I don't know. What was my question?
Your next question, Ashley, which I have up here.
Well, I know I was going to ask if
Oh, it was a mind reader.
if the Black Shirts had enough experience to carry them through here. But you had mentioned, now I remember, you had mentioned before in 5B where you have that sort of Jason Rossi, dink and dunk, and
Yeah.
waiting for the defense to kind of bail them out a little
Why
bit.
not?
How is that different than this year?
Because it's a matchup. Can't take a night off, and Emilio isn't going to take a night off. He's such a gamer, and I'm giving the edge to Black Shirts because of that. And you can't ignore Dylan Taylor and what's his name,
Brendan Birch.
Brendan Birch. You can't
Well,
ignore
we
that.
come prepared to this, though.
Yeah, come on. So many
Only
names.
twice have the
48
Dope
teams.
Boys scored 30-plus points in the
There you
season.
go.
Otherwise, they score mostly in the mid-20s.
And they dominated us against our team. They dominated us. They ruined us. They only scored 28. So just to give you an example.
So what's the X factor in this game for you?
The X factor in this game is I think it's going to be just Black Shirts defense getting into Lalonde's offense, like breaking it down completely, chopping it short, making sure those under routes aren't there. The X factor
Covering
would be-
Ridwan Abdur.
No, you don't have to cover Ridwan because he only goes deep. And I think you just got to make sure those slants, those hooks and slants aren't there, and that's it. That's going to be the key.
Hooks
to
and slants.
Hooks and slants. Hooks and slants.
That's how you win championships.
Yep, apparently.
Les Verges Folles, flagrant fouls. No meeting. What do you like in this game right now? Matt LeBlanc going into this 5 touchdowns. This has also sort of been the Vincent Morissette show for
Yeah.
Les Verges Folles up until this
He's
point.
sick, man. He's nasty. What do I like about this
Yeah.
matchup? I like that Vince Morissette is going to absolutely put over 225 yards on this flagrant fouls weak defense. Not that it's going to be a blowout. I think that flagrant fouls have a very good offense to contend. But Les Verges Folles, their offense is way too explosive for flagrant fouls to be able to handle.
I feel like the only way that flagrant fouls can be successful is a lot of work will have to come down on the shoulders of Alex Evangelidis.
Yeah?
Every time Les Verges
Your boy.
Folles have lost, exactly my boy. Every time Les Verges Folles have lost,
Yeah.
it's been to a team with a fast rusher who applies a lot of pressure. They lost to the Gators that way. They
It's
lost
true.
to Top Sauce that way.
KSP and Chris Millard.
Yeah. So if Evangelidis can sort of channel that and just go all out every play and sort of
that's a good
force
point.
that, because
They have it too. I mean, Evangelidis
flagrant foul was sort of play that 4-1 coverage that works against Les Verges Folles as long as there's a fast rush there.
Well, the good news is that Evangelidis had 4 sacks. The rest of the team had 4 sacks. That's the bad news.
all season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pass rush will be definitely a big-time factor here, but, I mean, 4 sacks doesn't really pose that threat
No.
that you're going to be able to really control this football game from your position.
I don't know. I just think that the flagrant fouls are they're too one-dimensional when it comes to Matt LeBlanc. I find like he forces the ball a lot, but overall, I think that Marty Friedman is the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying it all year. Marty Friedman should be the guy that takes over this team for sure.
So do you think that, especially with Morissette kind of trailing those underneath routes, he's going to be forced to go to Marty Friedman? Or?
He might be if those underneath routes, he's gonna have to be. He can't go to Marty Friedman because Vincent's gonna force him short. He's gonna have to go deep to Matt LeBlanc. He loves to go deep to Matt LeBlanc, and Matt LeBlanc's a big guy. He's a big target. I'm not a huge fan of him. Maybe he's a good player, but I think that that's gonna be the option to go to is Matt LeBlanc because that deep is gonna be open. But is he gonna be forced to throw the ball? And I think he will, like you said.
Mo, thoughts?
Look, I think for LVF in this situation right now, if they fall behind early, and look, flagrant fouls went deep ball, deep ball, deep ball, deep ball. If they fall behind early, they're not built to play from trail. They need the lead, and they need to play timely defense to get themselves in position to be in the closer position for the last 5 minutes of that
They need to
second
lead
half.
quick. They need to lead quick just to get.
I feel like they
get
basically
Olszewski
need
off
to
his game.
lean on Sean Lafortune. Like, am I the only one who feels that? Like,
Maybe.
this is someone on this
Really
team.
good
He
receiver.
plays better when he's feisty.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that maybe Chenier is the guy to look at in this game.
Or Kyle Greenbaum.
Oh, Kyle Greenbaum's fine. This team is stacked.
They are, but you're sort of not getting the most out of these players. Like, Kyle Greenbaum on Served with Fire in the spring did fantastic.
Yeah.
Sean Lafortune on the Exist does really well. I feel like they're not being used to their full potential.
I guess so. But it's you can't like there's some, I've played on if just look at my FPL profile, I played on maybe 20 different rosters, okay? And sometimes I have good seasons, sometimes I have bad seasons because you don't fit into a certain offense. Sean Lafortune fits better in Les Exist offense than he does into Les Verchevals offense. He's still a great player, but I think the key to this game is going to be both rushers, Chenier and Evangelidis. Who's going to be more pressured? Who is more of a seasoned quarterback, Morissette or Olszewski? So we give the edge to Morissette.
Barely.
You barely give you. You want to talk about
Of these are both like second season quarterbacks.
I guess so. Olszewski has a good deep ball, and he runs very well. He hasn't run a lot this season, but he does run very well. The option is there. I think that Vincent Morissette playing both ways, dominating both ways, he'll be able to figure out the pace of the game and control the game that way. But a lead early, like you said, Mo, is the key to this victory for sure. To get Olszewski off his game and make sure that he's pressure behind his head, in his ear, overthinking things. And
So what's your prediction on this one?
You want a prediction right now?
Well, you predicted the first one first.
No, I didn't.
Okay, fine, awesome.
I said an opinion.
You said an opinion.
My opinion is not my prediction.
My opinion is that we're moving on to the next game. Obamacare Sphinx. This is one of the ones where the two teams did meet each other,
Who's the quarterback
and
for
it meant
Sphinx?
absolutely nothing. Exactly. Etienne Coutier is back. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. I kind of feel like this is sort of the Sphinx of old.
Trap game for Obama.
You've basically summarized the whole script without reading it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, trap game for Obama because Sphinx.
So how do you keep Obama? How does Obamacare keep focus with all the other top seeds being knocked out?
Other than saying keep it simple, they're not going to keep it simple. I mean, they gotta really score quick, get into their face, be loud. Mike Abrasino's got to get into a lot of the receivers' faces, get into their routes, put a hand on their back, things like that. Defensively, they got to make Etienne think twice. Etienne Coutier think twice, and as soon as they do that, they'll be able to get a good rush from. Brain fire. I had just on McDonald's, so I'm slow. Who's the rusher for Obamacare?
The rush for Obamacare this season is
Barsetti.
Matthew Barsetti.
Yeah.
So Barsetti's got to get to it. St. Lucie, even though he gets rid of the ball very quick, Barsetti's got to be the guy to set the game and set the pace of the game.
I feel like the opposite almost. I feel like in order for Sphinx to succeed, they basically have to go for a shootout and hope that they have the ball last. I think that he's got to go score for. Coutier has to go score for score with Jake Applebaum, and hope that Applebaum makes the first mistake.
The thing is, though, guys, sorry. The thing is with Obamacare, they play better off of emotion. They love to trash talk and really celebrate after big plays by themselves. But you look at the loss to Le Verchevaux back in mid-February. In that game, they really made things frustrating for Obamacare. If Sphinx going to win this football game, they have to frustrate Obamacare from the get-go.
That's a good point.
So,
very good point. Who has more athletic ability?
Obamacare, hands down.
Look, McKinnis
100%.
alone, right? 10 INTs in 10 games, whatever it was he had.
Yeah. McKinnis. That's all I got to say.
Supply and Command against the Gators.
Boo. I was rooting for you guys, man.
I was too.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
hope so.
Close one over top sauce, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, after Top Sauce started down 20-0.
There was a point where you guys stopped. Like, you guys couldn't score in the red zone. I thought you guys scored. And I was like, oh, they just took the lead 24-18, 24-20. I'm like, game's over at that point because you guys were calling back. It was 20-zip. And that was the point of the game that turned it around, I think. Because they scored on the next drive.
So the last time
Couldn't have been your 2 drops that you said earlier.
Oh yeah, definitely not a wide open wheel route
Nope.
or a 4th down pass.
Nope.
Not at all.
Not those at all.
Small parts.
So Supply and Command and Gators haven't really met before. Whereas I feel like Supply and Command leaned on the inexperience of Justin Blanchard on offense and kind of played strong on defense against Top Sauce. It's really the Gators' defense that shines in this game, and Corey Wolwoski is consistent enough to keep going, but
He's consistent enough
the
to keep
Gators'
going.
defense is scary.
It is very scary. I mean, with KSP, Rush, just Eddie the Latin Hustle, the Sweet Muscle,
Bang.
Big Bang.
Evan Cook as well.
Evan Cook is a beast. I think they got the edge defensively. Is it easy to get in Corey Wolwoski's head? I think so.
Is it easy to get into Justin Blanchard's head at QB?
But
No, because he doesn't even know what he's doing. So how are you going to get into his head?
But let's not forget, Woloski's only target is who?
Eddie Martinez.
The Latin muscle.
The Latin muscle. The sweet muscle. The sweet hustle. It's the Latin hustle, the sweet muscle.
The love muscle.
The love muscle.
Yeah.
The Mexican truffle. No? Nothing? Truffle butter?
Tumbleweed.
You know what's going to be you know what interesting matchup I want to see?
What?
Anthony Garant receiver against Evan Cook. That's a
That'd be
physical
pretty cool.
matchup.
That'd be pretty
Someone's
cool.
going to get laid out.
But the thing is that the Gators like to play just a basic 3-2. And Evan Cook and the other safety, I forgot his name, they just trail. They don't really do much. And Eddie,
Dave Beltrami.
exactly. And they just trail. They don't do much. So Justin's basically just got to figure out his feet. He's able to move his feet. They've allowed a lot of rushing yards against the Gators this year because KSP, as good as he is, you make a move, he's going to bite on it. And Justin Blanchard, I think he's going to have a field day with that. I don't know who I'm going with yet. I'm going to wait for the predictions later. But I just think that this isn't so much of an easy Gators are better than SNC because SNC has been able to beat top teams.
Yeah,
going
SNC
down.
also game planned their game against Top Sauce. Can
And
they do that again against the Gators?
They've been game planning. They've been asking me what their defense was, things like that. They always game plan because they have to. They don't have the most athletic guys in the team. In the league, Garant and Blanchard are the only 2 guys. Mind you, Blanchard is the best player of all time. But they also have guys like Pease and Chapman on defense where they're not the most athletic guys. They're smart guys, smart players, not the most athletic. So maybe they would rely on Blanchard's athleticism to just get open and just
Half athleticism.
and cut the field every time. And they can do that too. And then as soon as Corey Wolwoski plays from behind, that's a completely different Wolwoski. Completely different. As soon as he's not playing with a lead, oh man, he forces it and forces it and forces it. And if he's going to force it to Eddie Martinez, he's going to get picked off by Justin. I will put money down on that.
There's no one whose height even comes close to Eddie's, though. All Wolwoski has to do is sort of throw that high
It's all
fade.
Terry
Yeah, but-
related, by the way.
Sorry?
The Eddie Martinez hype is from Terry Tam.
Yeah, it's all me.
No, not hype. Height.
Oh, height.
Eddie Martinez is like 6'4", 6'5". There's no one there.
No,
who's-
it's not 6'5".
He's 6'4".
He's like 6'3", I'd say. But 6'3", but Justin has jumps extremely high.
But-
and a jump ball, it does not guarantee that Eddie's going to come down
But
with it.
Eddie's catching radius is very large.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can really put his arms out there, make a ball.
And
look
he's
very
a big body. He's fast. You know, he's a very big threat. In any division, going I say from 2 down to 6, he's one of the biggest threats. And
especially when he wears that Marshall Falk jersey.
oh yeah, beautiful. I just think that it's not going to be as easy as Eddie's huge and he has good hands and he's good height because Justin is an unbelievable player. No matter how many times he tells us.
So, the 2 games in 5B, the quarterfinal, the semifinals games, Junkyard Dogs and Ghosts.
That's a tough
2
one.
teams haven't played each other yet.
Nope.
Adam Bradshaw right now, he's lead.
How am I gonna? What's my prediction?
No, how do you measure up to someone like Bradshaw? Like, how do you prepare for him?
How can you can't prepare for a guy who's been playing well all season, because it's not just about one player, right? So Adam Bradshaw, no matter how many stats, how many picks, how many touchdowns he's gonna have, he'll never be able to just dominate a team like the Ghosts,
Junkyard Dogs.
like Junkyard Dogs, and it's just Junkyard Dogs they work as a team. They've always played together. They're methodical on defense, and I think that they confuse quarterbacks, and that's what they have to do this game against Gab Wiseman, a good player but an inexperienced quarterback, forcing the ball. And let's say make him force the ball, and if he does, then Adam Bradshaw's completely out of the game.
So what do you like more right now, the Ghosts offense or the Junkyard Dogs defense?
I like the Junkyard Dogs defense.
Yeah, I think I do as well. I think we're gonna have a surprising game from Hugo Alamano.
Yeah,
he's quietly
big,
been
yeah?
making. He's tall and he's fast.
Yeah, he's good.
This
He's been quietly making those plays.
Adam Bradshaw's best game was against the Flying Weasels. 4 TDs, 104 yards, 8 catches. Beyond that, though, his other stats, very bare minimum, like nothing.
Like what? Like 3-4 catches a game.
Like every second game, he'd have 3 catches, then he would go 2 games. He didn't play much at all this year.
Alive
Yeah,
that's fine. You come alive in the playoffs.
But again, the last 2 games, he's been very good. 14 catches, 161 yards, and 4 TDs.
I think I'm gonna go. The Ghost defense. Sorry, the Junkyard Dogs defense is better than the Ghosts offense.
So we have the Junkyard Dogs defense that's better than the offense. But right now, Rossi, 80% completion ratio or 79.5, whatever. Does that mean that Junkyard Dogs are basically the team? It's their game to lose.
Their game to lose, 100%. They've had a better record during the regular season. They're a higher seed.
So how do Ghosts beat them then? Tell me.
How do Ghosts beat them?
Slow it down.
Yeah,
Really
slow down. That's a good point. Slow down. Gab threw three interceptions last week and they still won. So Gab can't turn the ball over. That's 100%. You can't put the ball in their hand. You got to slow it down. Take those easy routes.
What I mean by slow it down essentially is like, yeah, take those easy routes. If you score, you don't give Rossi and that offense time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're going to say, oh my God, we only have how much time left to score 7 points? They're not built to go one play, 40 yards for the touchdown. They're built to
make him think.
8-9 plays and get that touchdown.
Make Jason Rossi think.
Absolutely.
On the other side, this game really interests me. I think it's
might see a
probably
huge
the
crowd.
Terry Tam best game in 5B, bar none. Sunshine Island, Small Giants.
This might have the biggest crowd. The fan bases are pretty big for both.
Yeah,
both
I'm gonna
teams.
go Small Giants in this one.
Did we just suddenly go from I'm not picking anything to here, let me make my prediction and not give you any insight at
we're
all?
not doing the predictions yet? I thought I just took JYD. Are we not doing predictions?
No, we're doing previews.
Are we like an hour in?
We're half an hour in.
Okay, I'm gonna change my pick later then.
Okay.
So go ahead.
There are 2 rookie teams on fire here right now, Sunshine Island, Small Giants. Technically, Small Giants are kind of the rebranding of last year's team in Div 6.
Yeah.
But Small Giants have the best defense in the division, and Sunshine Island have just been making it work for week after week after week. What do you sort of lean in right now with this?
I'll always lean towards a better defense. And I'll always lean towards a better defense with a quarterback that's able to manage games like Justin Lerner. I'll always lean towards...
So you've got that sort of game management on Lerner's end, and on Shinquino's end is that he can sort of...
use his feet.
he can buy time with his feet. If nothing's there in front of him, he can sort of open up that field.
However, he is very susceptible to the sacks. I believe he took 6 sacks against Simon Bosquet Baudin on Wednesday in their win over...
but...
So is Darren the rusher?
In 5... Let's be fair.
SBB
in 5B,
5B.
SBB in 5B is a little bit much as a rusher.
SBB is a good rusher in any division.
Yeah, SBB is a good rusher in 2.
Well, gentlemen, if I may, I'm waiting for this to load up to prove my point here.
Just because he doesn't have the stats in 2 doesn't mean that he's not a fearsome rusher in 2.
This year, though, as a whole, the Small Giants had about 10 sacks as a unit, but in their last game, I believe they had 3 sacks against Greenland and Chorus. So they can definitely get the sacks if need be.
Okay.
Sure.
But I'm just saying that he's susceptible to sacks because he got sacked 6 times by SBB. SBB also, not only that, in Div 3 he had 6 fucking touchdown catches. He caught 6 touchdowns in a game.
Touchdown-ish. Exes.
So is football podósfero or what?
I know
It's football.
Even though football.
Football americano.
That's in October.
So
NFL.
We digress back to Matthew Cinquino. Do you think that the rush is going to be the same? Or do you think that he's going to buy more time with his feet now that he doesn't have...
Well, yeah, he's just Darren McDesian rushing him, who isn't... I mean, he's a good rusher, yeah. Made the All-Star team in the Division E last year. But he's not close to an SBB. Would he get sacked 6 times? No, I see 2 sacks. I see 2 sacks because of an organized defense. It'd be coverage sacks. Everybody knows what a coverage sack is. I think that'll happen more often than maybe Darren chasing it down the field, because Darren chasing Chinquino isn't going to bode well for Darren.
So what are your sort of predictions on how this is going to unfold?
My prediction is that Chinquino won't be able to read a defense that is as experienced and as organized as Small Giants is, and I think that he'll make terrible decisions and throw picks.
With that, Mo, you want to bring us full circle?
Yes, look, in this game alone, it comes down to fast starts again. They did it against Green Lantern course on Wednesday. This game's over in the first half. But I think right now the Small Giants have the most confidence going into this football game, as does Sunshine Island. But the Islanders have to be a lot more assertive in
Islanders, I like that.
They have to be more assertive with the football.
Yeah.
They can't turn over the ball, and they can't fall too deep in the hole, because if they do, they'll not be able to come back and tie this team up.
They're not going to be able to show their faces at Milanos after, you know? It's just not going to happen.
Games first.
All right,
Dope
cool.
Boys Black one. Jim?
I see the appeal. I really do. The sort of the experience is going to take over here. I see that. I'm going to go Black Shirts as well.
X Factor, Sergio Sicoli, bro. Sergio.
Dope Boys.
LVF.
LVF.
Boys, yeah, because your homeboy is 19.
LVF against Flagrant Fouls. That's in the 7 p.m. start in Lachine.
LVF. It would be very difficult for Flagrant Fouls to win this game. If they do, it's very admirable, and I'm on board for it, but
LVF.
LVF.
I'm going Verspol.
Flagrant Fouls. 8 o'clock start. Obamacare against Sphinx. That's at Lachine 3.
It's a tough game. Very, very, very tough game.
this is either going to be a 2-point game
or a
blowout.
75-point game.
Nothing in between.
I'm going to go with Jake Applebaum, Obamacare. Done.
Yeah.
By 10.
I'm going for Obamacare for the sheer simplicity that they will bring a huge crowd for the semifinals on Tuesday, and if they get beyond that, a big crowd for the pressers here at Sportiva.
Oh, yeah.
My heart says Sphinx, but my brain says Apple Obamacare.
SNC against Gators.
How have we not thought of that all season, Apple Obamacare?
Apple Obamacare. What the? SNC and Gators.
Yes.
I was talking to Pease earlier, and I said that I might give him the edge, but I think
The more we think about it, like at first glance, we're like, oh yeah, Supply and Command beat Top Sauce. They'll do fine against the Gators. But the more I think about it, the more I see the Gators winning this game.
yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to go with Gators on this one because Gators, like I said in Week 7, I think, playoff team. They're built for the playoffs, and I think they're going to be able to. But they got to get a lead early. Like I said earlier.
They are built for the
They're
playoffs
built for
because
the
they
playoffs.
sort of every year
They went 1-5.
they go up. Yeah, exactly. They go up and down. They do really poorly early on, and then catch fire at the end.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
5B, we have 2 games to look at. These will be St. Leo games, actually.
We both agreed, though, so you didn't give your opinion that was opposite from ours just to make things interesting.
I know. I don't want to because I don't want Terry to
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry. Tuesday games at Hebert. 2 to look at. Junkyard Dogs Ghost.
A little barbecue sauce.
7:30 kickoff here. Sunshine Island against the Small Giants at Hebert.
Small Giants. Even though they're the lower seed,
Will win.
I also think that having the continued support of
With Small Giants, of course. We're agreeing.
Small Giants as well.
Val de Brise? Why not?
Small Giants.
Wood the Bridge.
So with that in mind, if you're still listening to this, odds are you're playing in one of these.